Self-made, what does that even mean? Like, how do you define self-made? How do I define self-made? What are the parameters of self-made? Curious to find out and want to know what the definition of self-made actually means. Stick around because in this video, I'm going to dive into how I feel about when we call people self-made. Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, Jen Morilla. This YouTube channel is for entrepreneurs and small business owners who are looking to grow on social media. If that's right up your alley, then go ahead and give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you get notified every time I drop a video, which happens every week. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? Okay guys, so what is up? Hello. I want to talk to you guys today about self-made. I've heard this term used quite a few times and it really sparked a conversation when the article, and obviously this was a very long time ago, but when the article about, or the Forbes article of Kylie Jenner came out calling her a self-made millionaire. Now, how do I really feel about this? Before I dive into what I think self-made means, I just want to clarify what is even self-made, right? So if we Google what self-made is, you get the definition: made by oneself, his self-made fortune, having become successful or rich by one's own effort. So let's talk about this because I think this is really important. I think we live in a generation where self-made is I think it gets blurry. Well, I truly believe that self-made could also be getting the support of family and friends to help you start that business, to help you start that new venture. And I think that's really important to have that support system. I also think that the foundation of what the definition of self-made is something that's important to clarify. Do I think that Kylie Jenner is self-made? No. No, not at all. And that might upset some of you, and I'm sorry, not sorry. But I disagree in that she's self-made. Do I think that she has benefited from being born into a family, into having sisters that were famous? Absolutely. Do I think that she is a hardworking female and that just because she's not really self-made in my eyes, like that she isn't a successful person? Absolutely not. So let me clarify. I think that someone who is self-made is someone who has literally come from absolutely nothing and has built themselves up to someone. So I think Rihanna is self-made. I think Beyonce is self-made. I even think Kim Kardashian is self-made. But I think Kylie Jenner herself is not self-made. I think she is smart, very smart, and I think she's a businesswoman. And at the end of the day, she was born into a family that gave her those advantages and those privileges, and she used them to her advantage, which ultimately makes her smart, and kudos to her. Again, not shaming her for being ridiculously successful. But I think there could be two ladders to that, right? Because you can put somebody in an environment who was raised in an environment that's really successful, and they don't have to be successful. Or you can raise somebody who's in an environment that's successful and they are extremely successful, like Kylie Jenner. An example of what I mean is, look at her brother, Rob, right? Like, he isn't really that successful. He hasn't taken advantage of the Kardashian name as much as his sisters have, right? Okay, so that's just an example of what I wanted to dive into because it's a conversation that I get asked about a lot is, what do I believe is to be self-made? And there's a lot of things in this generation that I'm speaking to new entrepreneurs about that ultimately are, I think, really important and things that I wish somebody would have told me when I started, which is why I'm creating this video. I think I'm self-made. Granted, I'm not a millionaire yet, but where I've gotten to today, I understand that is obviously a privilege, and I do recognize that, and I am grateful for that. But I am self-made, right? I did start with nothing and I've built something. I had support of friends and family, mentally, emotionally, financially. It was all on me. My family did help a little bit, but not to the extent that, yeah, it was basically me. And so I think that that's important to recognize. And when you're starting out as a new entrepreneur, you seem to think that there's one person behind the magic. And what I've come to learn, like the difference between me getting to, you know, 80,000 a year to making multiple six figures was recognizing that I couldn't do it by myself and I needed that support in order to happen. And I think that's a big thing that we don't really recognize in the entrepreneur industry. While we create products and brands and all those things, what makes a very successful venture is when they have a team, when they have that support. And I'm not just talking about having coaches and being in masterminds and things like that. I'm talking about having actual team members, right? Having a content manager, having a manager, having a COO, having a marketing manager, having all of those things, a product development, a personal development, all of those people within your business, you know, what was I gonna say? Human resources, all of those people that ultimately build the brand in the company. And when you start to think like that as a CEO, it shifts the way you show up, it shifts the way you build and expand your business. Your investments become a lot smarter. You're not throwing spaghetti at a wall, which I think ultimately really happens when you start this entrepreneurial journey. Is a lot of the times people are like, hey, I want to create this product and I'm just going to throw it out there, and you're just kind of trying things left and right and you're doing it all by yourself. You're essentially like a solo entrepreneur. So for me, the shift was when I started to think of myself as like, okay, I have a team and these are my people, right? How do I keep them on longer? How do I start building a community? How do I build a brand? How do I build a company? Gary Vee, you guys all know who he is, right? He's the man, awesome dude, love him. And recognize that he is a brand within himself. However, Gary Vee has hundreds of people that work for him. And so Gary Vee wouldn't be who he is today if he didn't have those people, right? Like, it takes a village to create that one person. And as an entrepreneur, the biggest mindset shift for me was having that thought, was recognizing that like Gary Vee can't do it by himself. He has a team, and the dynamics of a team and what that takes to build one. How do I do the same in my company? And I truly believe that if I would have started thinking that as soon as I started my entrepreneurial journey, I would have made smarter, more intentional decisions than I originally did. So I will leave you guys with that. So I'm curious to know from you guys in the comments below what your thoughts are about self-made. What do you think is self-made? Do you think Kylie Jenner is self-made? Do you even think Rihanna or Beyonce are self-made, or any of those amazing talented entrepreneurs self-made? What do you define as self-made? I think that there is an older generation before us that thinks that self-made is someone who comes from nothing and has built something, right? And I think a lot of us still think like that. And then some of us think that if you come from a family and you have that privilege and that opportunity, then you are also self-made. And I, unfortunately, disagree with that definition. But again, I'm curious to hear what you guys think. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. I know this was a really short video, but I really wanted to bring to your attention because I have gotten this question a lot about from when you have first started your entrepreneurial journey, what would you have changed? What do you wish was different? Could you have changed your mindset? Could you have done something better? And while there were a ton of things I could have done, right? Like I could have been more disciplined. I could have really stuck to my schedule. I could have started more personal development work and really shifted that mindset, because that has been the biggest difference in my business. That was the biggest one, was really shifting that perspective from I can do it alone to I actually need a village. And that has made all the difference, truthfully. So that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this was super helpful, and I hope you guys like this. Again, drop in the comments below your thoughts on being self-made, your thoughts on having that mindset shift that you think you need for your business and your career. And if you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. Check me out on Instagram. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.